Picture this. You've had a long, grueling day at work. You've come home, you made dinner, you've got the kids off to bed, you've done all your chores, you binged whatever you need to binge to get through the day, and then, just as you go to bed and flick that light switch, the only thing you can hear is zzzz. Now that leaves you with a few options. One is, of course, just living with it, but then again, you're not a psychopath. You could roll up a newspaper or get a fly swatter and then start squashing bug juice on your walls and ceiling. Or you can do as I did. Get a Bug Zapper 2000. The theory is you take a pipe and then you jam a smaller pipe in it and inject pressurized air. Now the velocity and expansion of said air will create an airflow out of the main tube, but it will also induce a vacuum on the backside of the injector pipe. And as we all know, nature hates a vacuum and will try to equal out that pressure difference by sucking air in at the other end, effectively giving us a air-driven vacuum cleaner, or suction device, or whatever you want to call it. At least that's the theory. here we have it, the Bug Zapper 2000. It's basically a PVC pipe with an air tank strapped to it. And to pressurize the tank we have a compressor, and the compressor is run off a battery. Now this is what I call the sub-assembly. Then we needed a container to keep all the flies in, but we also need to allow for the air to flow through, so I added a strainer at the end. Then there's the charge switch to turn on and off the compressor. And then I also kept the original pressure gauges, because it is nice to have control over the remaining pressure in the tank. And then I added a handle, because ergonomics. And to be fair, it is on the heavier side. And then we have the solenoid valve that lets the air into the main pipe and creates the suction. And that is controlled by a fire switch. And that's basically it. Looks awesome. But the big question is, does it actually work? Let's go find out. But before we can test this thing, we need some stunt flies. Because summer came early to Norway this year and all the flies are outside chasing shit, rather than hanging around in my windowsill. So this is the backup solution. Now that's enough mucking about. Let's go get us some flies.
I wish I could say it worked beautifully, but that would be a lie. The reality is it cannot dump enough air fast enough to create enough suction. And to be honest, I had a sneaking suspicion that might happen, and I did think about getting a bigger solenoid valve, but in reality, there's too much restriction in all the hardware. So to make it work, I will need to weld on a bigger solenoid valve and dump air directly from the air tank. There's a couple of problems with that. One being me not having a welder, and the second is I'm not comfortable enough welding on pressure vessels that's going to be dangling close to my nether regions. So if you're a welder and live close by, give me a call. And in the meantime, I think I'll head out into the sun and enjoy the day. So can any fly, I guess, because there's no threat here. Oh, it's so dumb. But it looks great, at least. Well, let's just go out and get on with the day.